Coming up on Mountain News this morning, educators are figuring out how to continue the school year as the recommended time out of the classroom is extended into May. And while students are out of school, districts are making sure they are still fed. We'll take a look at the help one Perry County school had with that goal. And in Pike County, One Head Start is using Facebook Live to help parents keep their children in a routine.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Katie Cook. It is Friday, April the 3rd, and your time is about 5 o'clock. Let's check in with Brandon Robinson for a look at your forecast this morning. Brandon, yesterday I finally made that transition of taking out all of my winter coats and sweaters from my closet and replacing it with some spring and summer things because it looks like those warmer temperatures are here to stay.
Well, you may have done it a little bit too early because this morning is chilly and we still have a couple of those mini winters to go through, but I think you may be all right. Maybe have to get one of those winter sweaters or something back out for a day or two. Let's take a look at what's going on this morning. We start with our camera because there's no clouds, there is really no fog, so it's just a very calm start to the day outside the WYMT studios here in Hazard. Temperatures on the cooler side, it's kind of like yesterday. We've got some spots in the low to mid 30s there and some spots there in the 40s this morning, mainly on those ridge tops. So again, those valleys are going to get it a little chilly. A little frost possible this morning. It was starting to freeze on my windshield when I left the house this morning, so maybe a quick scrape. I don't think you'll need to do anything too major. Out the door forecast, I do think we'll get down by 7 o'clock to right around 35, and then things will start to climb quickly as the sunshine makes an appearance, getting into the upper 60s, maybe close to 70 as we head deeper into the afternoon. I'll have the rest of the forecast coming up here in just a little bit. Katie?
All right, Brandon, thank you. A sobering number of deaths were announced last night here in the Commonwealth. The governor reporting 11 more people have died from COVID-19. That includes a man from Pulaski County. There are 100 new cases in the Bluegrass, bringing the total to 770. Governor Beshear also says steps are being made to turn the state fairgrounds into a 2,000-bed field hospital if the need arises. Also, more travel restrictions for non-Kentuckians. They must now quarantine in the state for 14 days if they come in, and there will be no overnight stays at parks. And again, here in Kentucky, Governor Andy Beshear announced 100 new cases yesterday, bringing the total to 770. 11 deaths were also reported, including one in Pulaski County, bringing Kentuckians' total to 31. That's the most deaths announced in one day as Kentuckians continue to work to flatten the curve. As we show you every morning, here is a look at counties where we know we have positive cases. As more testing is performed, the governor believes more of those counties will turn red. Unemployment claims here in Kentucky surged to more than 112,000 last week. U.S. unemployment claims have hit another high record. The Labor Department says 6.6 million unemployment claims were made last week. That breaks the previous week's record, 3.3 million claims. And as we mentioned earlier, we learned about the first known COVID-19 related death in the WYMT coverage area. Yesterday, our Steve Hensley talked with their Pulaski County Judge Executive.
Finally, Judge, anything else you want to mention that we haven't talked about, and what would your message be to folks just over the next week or two?
Well, my message is one of optimism. I say this is a temporary storm we're in, and we will get through the storm. We'll get, just like the governor said, we'll get through it together. And when we do, I think our region and I think our country in particular is going to be set to be the leader coming out of this. So I'm encouraged by that. My message in our area and in the YMCA coverage area goes out to we're probably majority a Christian area, and I would say with Easter Sunday coming up, let's remember there is hope tomorrow, and that hope is Jesus Christ.
You can see the full interview with Judge Executive Steve Kelly on Facebook and on WYMT.com. So where do we go from here with education? That was the topic yesterday between the governor and school superintendents. The governor said he asked them to prolong the ban on in-person classes until at least May 1st. That is another 2-week extension. So far, it is unclear if the governor will make the decision to cancel the rest of the school year like some other states. And school districts try to keep kids fed while they are at home during this outbreak. At Roy G. Eversole Elementary in Hazard, they serve breakfast and lunch 5 days a week. They have drive-through sites at the school, bus drivers delivering meals on bus routes, and 5 bus stop locations. Commissioner of Agriculture Ryan Quarles stopped by to join the effort and says it is imperative that kids keep their bellies full.
Just because kids are learning at home doesn't mean you don't have access to food. And we want to make sure that if you have a child learning at home, that you can pick up school breakfast and lunch from your local school district.
And some days, kids get an additional item in their bag to help them at home, including pencils and a toothbrush. The school district plans on giving out meals for the weekend starting Friday. In Pike County, the sheriff and his deputies are doing what they can for the community. For those vulnerable and elderly folks, deputies will head out to get medications and essentials for you. These are pictures of Deputy Robert Orem packing up to help a family of 8 yesterday. As schools and daycares are closed due to COVID-19, Model City Head Start in Pikeville is trying to stay connected to their kids. Family advocate Amber Hunter started doing Facebook Lives every day, trying to keep the bond between her and her families. She shows parents how to make meals on a budget and demonstrates crafts to make with their children. She says keeping a child busy and in a routine is critical during this time.
That is how their world works. When their schedule is off, they can cause them to have anxiety and fear, and we don't want that. We're trying to stay connected, have a schedule, and help the kids get through it as best as they can.
Hunter goes live every day at noon on the Model City Head Start Facebook page. WYMT's Emily Bennett will take you inside one of those Facebook Lives in our 6 o'clock hour right here on Mountain News This Morning. Well, people across the mountains are finding ways to lift up frontline health workers. Outside St. Joseph, London, someone put these signs outside reading, "Heroes work here." Possibly no truer words can be spoken right now about our healthcare workers. Well, thank you for getting your day started with us here on Mountain News This Morning. Coming up, one hospital in Lexington is offering hope as they test a possible new treatment for those who have COVID-19.
After another chilly start, it will be a beautiful sunny day. How long will the dry conditions last? I'll have the answer in 3 minutes.